From Joan of Arc to Susan B. Anthony to Rosa Parks, Margaret Sanger, Billie Jean King, and Mother Teresa, there have been countless women who have changed our world. Even though they began as ordinary human beings, their extraordinary lives and leadership skills have made our lives better. What can we learn from these women? What are their unique strengths and struggles? The Women Changing the World course examines how female leaders throughout history have been visionaries of ideas and made changes happen in many different situations. It also teaches students to become leaders of change. The women learn that any person with a good idea has the potential to make that idea a reality if she knows effective leadership strategies. This video shows some of the projects by UNC Asheville women who have been leaders of change and made our world a better place in small but significant ways.
My name is Alana Turner, and my goal is to create effectiveness and awareness of pet therapy. I'm going to hold an event with a certified pet therapist and their therapy dog, and I'm going to use the biofeedback lab to test student stress levels before and after my event. Well, I've always loved animals, and I'm actually working through the organization Paws for a Purpose. So during my event, I'm going to have a list out for anyone who would like to donate or become a pet therapist. And therefore, those donations will go to the organization Paws for a Purpose, which will help the dogs and just the whole organization.
I'm Alyssa Smith, and we're both very passionate about what Japan offers. The culture is very interesting. The language itself is very interesting. It's not like other languages, and it would be wonderful to learn. And personally, I'm hoping to teach in Japan once I get out of college.
My name is Kendra Jones, and I'm working with Alyssa Smith. We are working on getting Japanese at UNCA to help make their language department more diverse.
Well, with the excessive production of plastic bottles for water, why wouldn't you want to save money and resources by using a reusable container? I'm going to get a pledge to get 50 people to agree to use a reusable container rather than use water bottles. Well, while 50 people isn't the whole world, it is a start, and it can help cut back on the amount of plastic waste. And the plastic waste goes back into our environment, which ultimately comes back and affects us. Every little bit helps.
My name is Ashley Peterson, and my project is about blood and platelets and bone marrow. Every 2 seconds in the United States, someone needs blood or platelets. About only 5% of the population actually donates. So my project, I want to foster change by utilizing youth organizations, civic groups, and other groups to obtain at least 200 more people to donate blood and platelets and take painless cheek swabs to be listed on the National Bone Marrow List. Well, a few years ago, I started working with a little boy named Josh, and he had AML leukemia, and I'd always been a blood donor. At that time, I was 17, so it's about 6 years ago, and I had no idea about the National Bone Marrow List or about platelets, and found out that in Asheville, you can donate platelets. And through Josh's chemo and radiation treatments, he had to have tons of blood products, blood and platelets, like almost every other day, and I saw how many times that different kids needed platelets, and so I started donating platelets because of that. And then Joshua, before he passed away, needed a bone marrow transplant, so they were able to find a donor on the list after about 6 months, but for a lot of people, they don't find donors.
My name is Beth Premack, and my project is about helping kids in poverty excel in their academics. We believe it's important to be involved in an organization such as Big Brothers and Big Sisters, which will match us with a child in need of mentoring. We'll be working one-on-one with a young person to help them increase their chance of success in other aspects of their lives.
I'm Erin Montgomery, and our project is about Big Brothers Big Sisters matching us with a young person through their organization that we can mentor in hopes of helping them excel more in academics and other aspects of their lives, because children in poverty are consistently having difficult times with their academics. Beth and I have both previously worked with children before and both really enjoyed it. I am actually hoping to be a kindergarten teacher one day, so I obviously love children. We had also both individually hoped to join Big Brothers Big Sisters previously, so this is obviously not just a school project for us. It's something that we've wanted to do in our lives. We want to help children. There's so many children out there that need help and don't have people at home that either have time or are willing to help them. And we are capable and able to and willing. So we're very excited about this. And we hope that we can really enrich 2 young people's lives.
Ann and I are passionate about our project about helping kids in poverty excel in their academics. We believe because their situation is difficult for them to achieve success.
My name is Katie Barrett, and I will be collecting 200 plus books for Elida Academy's library. The library right now is nothing close to an adequate learning and enrichment center for the students, and so hopefully by getting together all of these books, I'll be helping them raise their well-being, their confidence, and their concentration when they're doing their schoolwork. Elida Homes is a really, really great organization that helps out a lot of students and a lot of neglected and abused children in Western North Carolina, and so I really want to give back to them. And I also really just love reading, and I see the benefits of reading every day in my life, and I just want to be able to share that.
My name is Elizabeth Schultz, and I'm doing my project on acid violence, which is a form of assault that's taking place when the victim is splashed in the face with nitric acid. These attacks are taking place worldwide, especially I'm focusing on the attacks that are taking place in Cambodia right now. And I'd like to raise awareness of this by screening the film Finding Face on the UNCA campus, and by asking the students that come to the screening to possibly bring donations so that we can send some money to victims of these attacks. I first read about acid violence in a feminist magazine, and I realized that 80% of the victims that are attacked are females. So in my mind, that would conclude that this is predominantly a women's rights issue. And I think that awareness should be raised about that, especially on a liberal arts campus.
My name is Erica Crosby, and my project is on texting and driving. My goal is to get 200 people to sign a pledge that they won't text and drive. I want them to make the promise, and I'm going to give them something, maybe a ribbon that they can hang in their car to remind them every day that they should continue on with their promise. I'm passionate about this project because texting and driving has become a serious problem, causing many accidents and deaths among teenagers and adults.
My name is Christina Baddick, and I am helping the women at the Mainstay Women's Shelter to become more financially independent, and we are meeting with them a couple times a month in order to learn the basics of spending more wisely. A lot of these women have come from abusive relationships and are now on their own, so a lot of them need to rebuild their credit and just learn how to live on their own without being dependent on somebody else. You don't have to go out there and spend a lot on certain things. I mean, check the weekly papers, and you just don't have to spend a lot in order to live a decent life, and just helping them to get back onto their feet.
My name is Lindsay Thompson, and my project is helping the women at Mainstay's Women's Shelter in Hendersonville to become financially independent. And what we're doing is we're meeting with them a few times a month, and we're discussing things like budgeting, finances. We're helping them, get cars that are affordable for them, helping them find housing, so helping them get on their feet after, when they're recovering from abusive relationships. Both myself and Christina Baddick, we're working on this project together, and we're passionate about this because one of the main reasons, like I said, that women stay in these abusive relationships is because they do have a financial dependence on their abusers. So our goal is to help them get past this, and I think it really opens a lot of doors for these women to have the knowledge of financial independence.
Open your eyes up, people, and take a good look around. Catch the tears filling up all those cracks in the ground. Turn off your televisions, leave your picture perfect neighborhoods. A lot of folks out there ain't doing so good. Too many of us left out here on the cold. No invitations given, No welcome mats unrolled, but you can be the change you want to see, and be the hope to those whose lives are far from easy. Reach out and lend a hand, share everything you can, and be the change, be the change.
Basically, my blood drive was held at the Haywood Park Hotel the day before Thanksgiving, and we had a pretty good turnout. We had a lot of walk-in appointments, which was great, and we ended up being able to get blood to over 150 people. And then I was able to get over 200 people signed up on the bone marrow registry, so that was great.
Since we've taught, we've both been matched with our little and big brothers, big sisters, and have gotten to meet them. We both have little brothers, and we spend time with them for about an hour and a half a week at the after-school site.
I did hold my film screening at the Highsmith University building, and it was on November 16th.
Basically, I contacted Helpmate, their volunteer coordinator, and explained my vision to her, and began gathering a few names, and through a long process of paperwork and bureaucracy, we finally organized a team of about 3 massage therapists at the time to start volunteering regularly at the shelter.
I collected 250 books for Elida Homes, and I also had a party for the kids to give them the books, and it was a lot of fun to be able to play around with them and give them all of the new books that they'll be able to check out at their new library.
I went out and got 50 signatures for my project. I made handmade keychains to give out to everyone who signed my petition, and also a handout, a little handout that has information of why it's bad to use so many plastic water bottles, and I have pictures on the handout of where the plastic bottles end up at and how it affects our environment.
We changed our main goal from trying to just get a Japanese class here.
We just mostly have been trying to promote the Asian Studies minor here at UNCA, and actually have gotten a job under Dr. Subramanian to help him promote even more.
We created a folder for the girls, and well, this is what we originally did. We plan on working with a group of women, but we decided in the end to narrow it down to make it a more personal experience. But we did give them some folders that helped them with budgeting tips, and we gave them other advice through that, gave them our contact information if they ever wanted it.
I've collected over 200 signatures, which was my initial goal.
I definitely think that in the last couple months I was able to get blood and platelets to a lot of people that need them, and hopefully get the word out about, blood products and what all they do to help people. And I was interviewed by the news and the paper and a lot of other online blogs. I think that helped. Even if people didn't donate blood that day at my drive, they are kind of more cognizant of the things that people can do to help. So I think it ended up being really good.
I do think my project was successful. I got a good turnout at my film screening. I think it was a very meaningful documentary, and I think it opened a lot of people's eyes to acid violence. And I did collect donations like I originally wanted to.
Yeah, I definitely think my project was successful. I have 3 therapists, including myself, who are really excited to have an opportunity to volunteer at the women's shelter, as well as a group forming to support all of our volunteer missions collectively. So it feels really successful in that we're all excited, we're forming a group, and we want this to continue. And our intention is to bring other massage therapists into the volunteer circuit.
I think it was very successful because not only are we promoting the language, but we're promoting the culture. So it's kind of the best of both worlds.
A lot of people told me that they promised they wouldn't text and drive, and they seemed really sincere about it. They liked the tokens, and they seemed like they would use it and it would help.
Definitely. When I gave the kids the books at the party I had, they were really excited to get the books. They were really excited to read all the new stories and adventures and things that I had given them. And there was one girl in particular
that started to talk to me about how much she loved to read and how she was just so happy, and she almost got to tears talking about how she was so happy that she had all of these new books and her arms were filled with the amount of books that she had wanted.
I was worried about being a burden when we really needed the process to move along much faster than it did. Everything turned out okay, thankfully, but we wish it would have been processed quicker.
I do think it was successful because although a lot of people I talked to already knew about some of the problems, but a lot of people was really surprised and they didn't know the extent of the damage that it does to our environment. So I feel like I was able to inform some people who didn't know as much about the problem as they did before.
I think it was very successful because we taught her things that she really had never learned before, and I think that's very important that she had that chance because she might have otherwise never learned those things that we helped her with.
The day of my drive, I had a ton of people cancel. Definitely having it on the day before Thanksgiving was a challenge because a lot of appointments just didn't show up. It was kind of hard to make up those appointments.
Working with Big Brothers and Big Sisters, it took several weeks to do a background check, and I think our biggest challenge was it took so long. If we were more persistent with them, we've maybe been able to meet our little brother a little bit sooner, which kind of delayed our relationship getting started.
My biggest challenge was just getting started and getting everything put together. I finally I was like, okay, I'm going to run out of time if I don't get it, so I just kind of had to push myself, and I got it all done.
My biggest challenge was trying to figure out a central place for everyone to come and donate the books, because it was really hard to just ask someone for a book and then figure out when's the best time and place for me to come and get it. And so I decided that I was going to have a table in the Student Union of UNCA, and I was just going to hand out bookmarks and flyers to get people excited and to get them come to that one central location to donate the books. And so I had a lot of people come and donate through the book collection table that I had.
Our biggest challenge was definitely finding an actual woman who was willing to accept our help, because especially going into a women's shelter, not all of them are ready to accept the help. They're at points in their lives where they're just not ready. So actually finding a woman who's ready to accept our help and know that she needs to get these things done in order to change her life was definitely a good point for us.
Another challenge we had is getting in touch with her, because it was hard at first because, of course, she had a cell phone we were reaching her through, but then the cell phone got cut off, and then we had to reach her through the shelter, but sometimes that could be hard because, she wouldn't be there. So then we finally actually got around to using Facebook, and that was more reliable than anything else.
My biggest challenge was securing the educational license, which gave me the ability to actually show the film on campus, and so I had to find someone to pay the $200 fee associated with that, and Dr. Haggard was nice enough to grant me the educational license.
My biggest challenge, I think, would have to be balancing my schoolwork with the project and balancing the time it took to really get people interested in the mission as well. Yeah, I guess the biggest balance was time management, having enough time to really devote the energy I needed to the initial part of the project.
Our biggest challenge was the fact that our project kept changing so many times over and over again. We went through working with Dr. Ashburn to Dr. Subramanian to working on our own, and it was hectic, and just trying to constantly adapt was something we had to learn really quickly.
Once we got to the point where we are now working under Dr. Subramanian, he definitely helped guide us a bit more into where we were going, and even we kind of learned from our mistakes, like need to plan a bit more ahead and stuff like that, especially from all the changes.
My biggest challenge was getting started. I tend to procrastinate sometimes, so I just had to do it.
I think I've changed Cameron's life. I've come into his life, and we're friends now. I'm his mentor, his tutor. It's changed my life. I don't know if that counts, but it has. After watching Cameron and myself together, his older brother has decided that he would like a big sister as well. So I think that's really neat. So hopefully it will change his life as well.
I think I have made an influence in Kenneth's life, knowing that someone else cares about him and also about his schoolwork. He also has, like Aaron, he has changed my life. Just see him so excited to see me when I get there in the afternoons.
I'm hoping personally that eventually Cameron and I will move into a different program within Big Brothers Big Sisters, where I'll be able to see him outside of the after school program, where we can go do fun activities together and spend more time together. I would really like that.
Yes, especially the people who received blood. Each pint of blood goes up to 3 people, so that number is around 200. So definitely there's going to be some people who needed blood that will receive that blood.
I believe we've definitely changed the life of Alondra in particular. I mean, without our help, she may have never found a job or was able to use the resume. And by keeping in contact with her, I think we're going to be able to continue to change her life in the future.
And I do think that it's been helpful, too, because I do have a friend who works at the shelter. And I told her that if she ever needs assistance with any of the women, just helping them with their finances or anything like that, then I would be available and we could help them with that.
I know I've changed the main person that's in the documentary, Tamarina. I was allowed to collect $50 for her, and that got mailed directly to her. I think also I did a good job of getting the educational license done. Since it's good for 3 years, the college can reuse the film.
The lives of the women at the shelter will be greatly enhanced by receiving free massage therapy to complement their programs at the shelter for helping rehabilitate their lives. And I definitely know that the lives of the therapists I've involved have been enhanced because they were all really wanting to volunteer somewhere, and they're all really excited and feel that that part of themselves is becoming fulfilled.
Definitely, we've changed our own life. We've changed Dr. Subramanian's because now he has someone to help him, and anyone who enters this minor.
We're helping promote diversity at the campus like our goal originally was.
We're working so hard to get many different classes for it, and it's apparently been one of the fastest growing minors, so it's really exciting.
I made a Facebook page, I made a website, and I made tokens, which were red ribbons that people could hang in their rearview mirror.
I didn't use any tools that didn't work so much as I should have implemented them more and given more out and made more and talked to people more when I gave them the bookmarks.
I had the handmade keychains, and the beads that I made on the keychains were made out of recycled plastic bottles that I had found. And I also had reusable containers that I gave out to 5 people.
I used email a lot. I used media a lot, such as Facebook was a really good tool for me.
I worked with Faith Sumner to get a flyer out. I also posted an ad about the film screening in the Blue Banner, the newspaper on campus. And I also used like little bags of candy with a poster on it to pass around to some students that I knew better.
The biggest tools I used really were phone calls and email. Once I got some people together, some massage therapists, I did talk to them all individually on the phone. We tried to set up a meeting, but that wasn't able to happen. Everyone's super busy with their lives. We basically just talked on the phone a lot, talked about my vision, talked about their vision.
The very first one was the Asheville Citizen Times. They came and interviewed our entire class, and that helped promote it. And then we got the school newspaper, the Blue Banner, to promote it. We had booths, handouts.
We had to make sure that our little brothers were keeping up with their homework, the homework that we didn't get done with them, you know, on the other days that we weren't there, that they were remembering to study, say their spelling words, etc. I would put little notes in Cameron's book bag to remind him.
And called him on the phone to help remind him about his homework when the days that I didn't see him. And if he had any questions, that we could talk about what was going on at school and different things.
Well, I would like to try to find an organization that I can start working with that has similar goals as I do. And I plan to look for that and just to keep telling people about the problems in the environment caused by plastic.
Since we're hired under Dr. Subramanian, we have to sustain anyways. We're working for him. But just keeping our passion up about it will help sustain the momentum, continuing taking the classes.
Definitely having a job with him is definitely going to help us keep the momentum going. We definitely have enough passion for this that we'll keep doing it even after we don't have a job with him anymore.
Through the educational license, being that it's good for 3 years, I'm hoping that the college can use it again in some manner.
I'm going to do another blood drive in June, so I'm planning hopefully to work with Cherokee because there's a huge shortage of Native Americans on the bone marrow registry, so that's something that I'm in talks now, hoping to do a drive in Cherokee County at some point.
I'm going to keep up with my Facebook page and updating statuses and posting videos, showing people the dangers of texting and driving. I think the biggest mistake that I made was not putting as much energy as I should have into the project. I feel I could have gotten a lot more books through going to Barnes & Noble or Books A Million to get donations, or local bookstores. Could have gotten a lot more. I think a lot of people would donate more if I had done things like TV interviews or newspaper interviews and things like that. I could have just done a lot more work.
Procrastination was my biggest mistake. So I'm constantly working at trying to not wait until the last second to do things.
I thought that it would be a lot easier than it was. I definitely was kind of overconfident in putting my number kind of high and didn't really listen to the Red Cross when Christy was telling me, 200's a really big number. So I'm still planning on doing a Thanksgiving drive, a Thanksgiving themed drive next year, the same type of drive, but I'm definitely not going to do it the day before Thanksgiving. I guess I was just very, very overconfident in thinking that I could get that many people to show up on a holiday. So
one mistake is that we could have researched shelters a little bit more to find out that a lot of women are in and out of the shelter very often, and we would have known and been better prepared to work with the women, and we probably would have known ahead of time to work with just a small group or just one woman versus the initial goal of helping a group of the women.
One of the mistakes I made, probably in assuming that it would move a lot faster than it would. So what I learned is that you just have to go with the flow, stay persistent, stay dedicated, but also realize that working with humans who are really busy takes a lot of time.
What wasn't a mistake is a better question. We ran into so many roadblocks, and we just kept having to overcome them. But I think our major mistake, or most current one, was the fact that we're now working under someone, and we have to take that into account, that his schedule with our own, and we can't just, we have this idea, let's go ahead with it. We have to run it by him first. So that could get a little hectic because we lost a booth that way. But in the end, it'll be more worth it working under him than trying to work on our own.
We did try to learn from every mistake that we made, and just kind of, learn how to plan more. Being flexible is definitely one of the main things we've learned from this project.
My biggest mistake was just waiting so long to get started. So
I would say to just be very persistent. Don't let somebody, get you down in the beginning or tell you that what you want to do isn't possible, because if you, put your mind to it, there's always a way. If there's a will, there's a way, and I'm a big believer in that. As change leaders, if you want to do something, you just try to do it.
To be more persistent, not to be worried about stepping on people's toes, and ask questions and just ask for help throughout your whole process.
If you have a goal in mind, just get out there and do it. Don't let anything hold you back. If anybody tells you no, then don't take no for an answer. Figure a way around it.
Stick to your goal even throughout the hard times, because you will definitely have challenges, but there are ways around them.
Don't think that you failed, but learn to change your goal.
And to have faith that it's going to work itself out, because it will.
To not get overwhelmed in the beginning and just ask for help from anyone you know, and you'll get it and it'll get accomplished.
My advice for anyone trying to lead change would definitely be to form a group, ask for help from people who you think might be interested in doing it with you, because it definitely makes everyone's lives better. It brings together people who might want to do something, but they just don't have what it takes at the moment to initiate it. And by being the initiator, you can bring them right along with you and form a strong group pretty quickly and make the change more fun.
I really feel like if you want to implement change, you have to pick something that you believe in wholeheartedly, and you have to have passion for it, because there are times when you just feel like you just can't go on, and it's just not your place to make this change, but it is. And you just have to keep going, have sustained momentum, and know that just by caring and being compassionate, you can make change.
Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope some